and got a win. Glad to have gotten a win in a way where we got a chance to play not only the frontline guys, we got a chance to play some of the other guys on our roster who don't sometimes ordinarily get a chance to play. But they gave us a tussle for a while, and there were instances there where you could see that they would improve some. We got a break or two. Our defense made a break or two for us at that point. Then we got some scores that kind of got us ahead in a way where we could kind of relax a little bit. But there for a while, it was a pretty tough game for us. So that's it. What you got to say? Questions?
Well, Coach, after 4 non-conference games, is this team ready to play in the conference now?
Well, we better be. We're at that point. A little bit concerned by running back situation. We've lost 2 of our better running backs in the last 2 weeks. That's a big deal for us, but we do move on, and we have had some success with Dondre Brown in particular, and Dondre Lewis Freeman and Chuck Brown, some of those guys. Will be able to play a little bit. Maybe we may get Xavier Quick back in another week or so also, but that's a little bit of a concern. But we've done some experimenting with those guys. We've done some experimenting up front. We want to settle in this week on the offensive front that we can maybe use for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can get them together and get them rid of the jail that way. And then more than anything else, I think we'll settle. I think we'll settle on a quarterback where we can get that guy the majority of reps through the weeks, so that we give him a chance to settle in also.
With Justin Taylor, how many weeks is he looking to be out?
Well, he's going to have an MRI today. I'll know more about that later on today. But right now, I hope he'll be back in a week or 2.
You talked about the offensive line and the injuries there. Have they started to get healthy?
Some. Shaq Harrison is still a little bit iffy. We'll see how he goes as the week goes on. Eric Dickerson will practice some this week. We don't think he's going to be quite full speed. He might be another week away. Most of the rest of those guys seem to be C.J. Wilson, Christian Bellamere, seem to be getting back to full speed.
Just going into this first conference game, just because all these teams basically play non-conference games, do you sort of get a feel as though how they're going to play once they get into conference play, talking about a team like Hampton?
Yeah, I think you do. You get an understanding of what the team, what their strengths and weaknesses are, what their styles of play are, what their, how they planned in previous games. So, you'll be somewhat affected by, or you can somewhat understand, what they'll do by what they've done in past games.
You got a team that struggled to go against the run, going against the defensive line that, does it seem the last couple of days they're seeming to finding their legs and their confidence back?
Our defensive front,
yes.
Saying? Yeah, I think they are. We're getting some guys now that are, I think, playing pretty good up front, and we're getting healthy there also. So, I'm hoping that we can keep them healthy and continue to play in a way where we can play a bunch of them, because we think they can play at a much higher rate of speed that way as we rotate through.
Daniel Carter coming off a 2-sack game. The last couple of games, seems as though he's really had success getting to the quarterback.
He has. Carter's got that kind of ability, and he's a quick twitch kind of style, athletic kind of guy. He'll continue to, I think, develop into one of the better defensive ends in this league, I'm hoping. And then on the other side, Glover and Reggie Owens is come on in a way where you got some ability there too. So, but it looks like those defensive ends as a whole are coming on pretty nicely.
What do you expect out of Hampton coming in? Also, their second straight trip to the Palmetto State.
Yeah, well, you expect them to be, I guess, kind of similar to any last-ditch effort kind of style of mindset. They'll be thinking that this is the beginning of a second season for them. they weren't successful in their non-conference schedule. Well, nothing's really lost that way except for the fact that, you lost football games. But, I think they'll now come in here, with the thought of starting over in the conference and trying to go undefeated in the conference. That's what they'll probably need to be able to get into, say, for instance, the playoffs or something of that nature. So, I'm sure that their entire mindset at this point is to come in here and get started with that conference, to get started with a big conference win on the road.
What about the fact that their coach seems to be, at this point, under the gun? When you have a situation like that, does that also increase urgency on their part?
Well, I don't know anything about him being under the gun, but, that's part of what happens in this line of work. We're all under the gun, so to speak. And, you all, a play or two, a game or two from possibly, something bad happening. But at the same time, this is a college football kind of setting. College football generally, is sort of at the mercy of some of the elements that surround it. I don't know if you can get into all of what could possibly happen if, something of that kind of should happen. I like to think that cooler heads will prevail, and they go ahead and give everybody the opportunity to do the very best they could. I know nothing about that kind of deal, but I can tell you this, and that is that yes, I'm sure they'll be fighting to do everything they can to be successful for their school and for their coaches and for everybody that you hold near and dear to you.
In a lot of ways, this is also the starting part of what's really the meat of your schedule, because afterwards you have both North Carolina schools, you have the bye, and then Bethune-Cookman. Just how important really is it to get off to a good starting conference with that meat ahead of you?
A bunch. We talked to our team this morning about this being the most important month of our schedule. And, you got 4 games and a week off. All those games are, games that we didn't necessarily win last year. And, this is really the only one of the whole lot that's home. Everything else is on the road, the meat of our schedule. The most important part of our schedule is all on the road. So, we got a tough deal here. It's almost imperative that we win this week because, it's hard to win on the road. And, you got to make sure that you do all you can to hold serve at home.
When you look at some of the other team schedules where a couple of teams that give them difficulty in the past aren't on there, so sort of the shuffling schedule, does that add to the urgency?
Well, everybody gives us trouble from time to time. I guess it does. I'm just trying to think who. We don't play Delaware. We don't play
Howard.
We don't play Howard. Yeah. But Howard hadn't given us a lot of trouble. Well, he lost a game or two to Howard. We got winning records of both against both of those programs over the time that we've been here. So I don't know if it means any difference to us than it would be if we had those teams on and somebody else rotate on. I'd much rather rotate. Let me see who's playing Bethune and A&T off right now. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I don't think they're gonna allow us to do that. So at this point, it is what it is. You just got to play the very best you can, regardless who shows up.
Getting to the quarterback situation with both Richard and Tadarius, is it gotten to a point where you just want to just settle on one person, or are you going to try?
And we're gonna settle. We pretty much decided that we're gonna settle on Richard. He is the guy who gives us the most, gives us the best opportunity to win. We may play Tadarius some from here on in, but this game Saturday was kind of our experiment of sorts to see, exactly what we get playing more of Tadarius the way we did this past Saturday. We go back to playing most of Richard.
And then also when it comes to Caleb, of course, getting Offensive Player of the Week, how important is it that you have that other option? Because it seemed like Benedict this past week was determined not to let Tyler McDonald get as many big catches as he's had.
Well, it's really important that you got another option. You got other options available to you. And that does keep people from being able to load up on one particular guy. So, I'm happy for Caleb in the fact that he was able to have a big game this past Saturday. He's had some other games that have been, similar in style. So, let's hope that he can continue to have some games on through the rest of this big stretch we get ready to get into.
So the loss within everything Saturday, it was your 90th win here at South Carolina State.
Was it?
And just now, as you get close to that milestone of 100, just do the wins become, you get more appreciative of the wins you've had here?
Yeah, I think you learn to appreciate it more. We start all of our meetings off after a win, with the congratulations to everybody that's involved and a thank you, for the hard work that it takes to get a win in this day and age. It ain't easy, I can tell you that. And you better figure, that you better enjoy it a little bit and be appreciative of them because, they're not so easy. But at the same time, you don't really pay that much attention to the numbers. You just kind of keep working at it and just kind of keep your head down and just count the numbers up in the end.
Is that something, though, do you think about it one day that you could end up catching your mentor?
I doubt it. Yeah, it'd be nice to catch anybody. That's kind of how that works. But at the same time, that's not been a goal. My goal is to be the very best we can tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And at that point, then we'll see what happens. When all is said and done.